Dawson's Rambles.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here with a little bit of Power Rangers news coming out of the virtual Comic-Con panels we've been getting. This is going to be focusing on the comics. I feel like there's one more thing that they were going to do franchise-wise, but I can't remember, but I'll look into it, and if there's anything else, I'll keep you guys updated. But this is going to be related to a few of the upcoming comic series. As you can tell by the title, the main and most exciting news, or like the most new news, is there's going to be a new Black Time Force Ranger in the upcoming Time Force one-off comic, which I actually completely forgot about. We found out about that a long time ago, but we've been talking so much about like the Mighty Morphin comic reboot and the new series and the new Green Ranger, and then the fandom thought the sky was falling for the Power Rangers franchise is going to end, and then they found that Dino Charge Black figure without it being announced, and they thought the franchise was going to end again. So it's been a busy couple weeks. So I forgot about the Time Force thing, but we're going to be getting a new Time Force Ranger. We have this picture here, which is, it looks more like a sketch, and it looks pretty interesting. I feel like I don't hate it or like it. I'm like right in the middle because I feel like I can't really get a good read on how I feel about the suit since it's so sketchy, for lack of a better word. But it looks like a female ranger, and she's going to have some sort of grudge against Jen. There was some little talk about the Time Force comic that it was going to deal with some of the darker Time Force stories, and there might be some Hyperforce stuff in it, which I'm most excited about. Like, Time Force, Black Ranger, whatever, any mention of Hyperforce. Just mention Burritos once and I'll be happy. So that's cool. I'm excited that's coming now that I remember that it's happening. They talked a little bit about some of the other series. The upcoming Green Ranger, they did not reveal the identity. I have a video coming out theorizing who it might be, and I need to get that out before they reveal who it is, before I get scooped by the actual news. So they just they basically gave the answer of Dwight when they played that murder game in the office, where he's like, it's not the person you most suspect, but it's also not the person you least suspect. So who the Green Ranger is probably the person we most medium suspect. So they didn't reveal that as of this video, but they just talked about how it'll be someone we know or don't know, but also know and don't know at the same time. They're really vague about it. And they give us kind of a better, more clear look at the suit. There was also another cover, I think it's for 55, that has like a better look at him, but we got one of those profile-y shots. And I didn't realize his dragon dagger is different, and it's curved, so I hear that's normal. I still dig the suit, and you know, even though it's kind of like, oh, Green Ranger again, I'm kind of looking forward to that because it kind of brings an added, like, unexpected element. And it's one of ththose cool things, now that I'm thinking about it, is actually something that shows the timeline changed. Like, the Boom series is different in general, but from what I understood and understand, it seems like it would have followed a similar trajectory as the TV show universe, just, you know, farther in the future. But then Shattered Grid changed some stuff, and I think the Green Ranger is one of those, in addition to the Omega Rangers, but like the Green Ranger is one of those cool things that like might not have happened if Shattered Grid never happened. So they talked about that a little bit. They talked about how the MMPR stories won't just be Earthbound. Well, Mickey Mouse is Earthbound, but the Rangers won't be, apparently, for this. So that's kind of cool, so we might get some planet hopping, which actually kind of goes along with MMPR Pink, even though that's pre-Shattered Grid stuff, but she had to take care of that mission because the Rangers were off-world. It's probably a coincidence, but I happened to think of that when they talked about it. They talked about how the Omega Rangers is going to kind of be like, you know, unsupervised adventures, since they're not under the thumb of Zordon. They might be able to get into some more crazy adventures, and they might have some stuff that deals with other seasons, which I think would be pretty cool. I imagine it'll be kind of set up and foreshadowing. I think that would be really neat. And there's a lot of stuff going on with this type of comic stories, which I want to talk about in a second, which I think is cool. But I think that's some really cool stuff, because I think the Omega Rangers will primarily be in space, so they could potentially set up lots of stuff. Like maybe we could get some lore on the Lost Galaxy powers. There was rumors that it was going to be tied to Zordon back in the day for the TV show. Maybe they'll do that. Maybe we'll see how Zordon set up the sort of in-space powers or something. Like, they could do all kinds of neat stuff with that. I mean, we have the Dane character, which is from an alien race we didn't get till SPD, so you could do more stuff like that as well. So that will be really cool. I think I would love to see the Omega Ranger series be a series that is kind of smartly tied to MMPR, but allows them to branch out and stuff like that. I think that would be pretty cool. But involving that, there was another cover for, I believe it was for the new Drakkon New Dawn series, number 3, or one of those numbers that exists within numbers. But it was a cover that showed like Ranger Slayer in her new Regal outfit and all of the coinless people up against Ecliptor and a bunch of Quantrons and a bunch of Scantron sheets as well. I'm just kidding, just the Quantrons. They didn't have to take standardized tests. That would be the ultimate challenge. That was really cool and unexpected because it's a way of also pulling in something from a different season, and it's also coinless Ecliptor, which I think is interesting. I was just thinking about the other day, of like how the world of the coinless would be so different going forward into like years seasons would take place, because so much, it's like a post-apocalypse world, so like 99% of seasons or shows couldn't proceed the way they did. So I think that's pretty cool. And I think that's something pretty cool they're doing in general with the comics right now, is while they're within the confines, like 99% of the time of an MMPR series, they are touching other lore from other seasons, and I think that's really cool. Like with Ecliptor, talking about the Omegas being able to do other stuff that hint at other seasons, I think is really neat. So I think it's pretty exciting. I'm still excited for the comic stuff. I still think it's the most exciting thing about the franchise at the moment. But what do you guys think? What developments are you excited about from what was announced? What would you like to see in the future? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you get notifications from my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.